This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN Live, and we're here at the LD Micro Invitational 2016 in Bel Air, California. With me right now is the host of the LD Micro, Mr. Chris Lahiji. Chris, thank you again for having us, and welcome.
Thank you, Bobby.
So, let's do a quick recap.
Yeah.
How was the event? Tell us about the Invitational. How'd it go in your opinion?
This was the hardest event to put together, without question, because what we realized a little too late was that there weren't 6 or 7 other conferences within the week of our event. There was roughly 30. Yeah. And then you add 3 very large industry-related events like NERI and Bio and ASCO, and then you start to realize that, you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're not really getting anywhere because you have Needham, you have Barclays, you have Stifel, you have Baird, you have Stevens, you have Craig-Hallum. All these conferences basically all kind of lined up at the same time. And it's not like, I don't think anyone has an agenda. I think the reason they did it is because everyone kind of wants to get in before summer starts. And I know this because I'm a family man. When my wife tells me to be somewhere at a certain time, it doesn't matter what I think, I have to be there. So everyone is about to get that leash on them, and this is kind of the last week. We couldn't do the week prior because our co-main sponsor, Markham, has their annual event, and then I couldn't do it the week after because it's E3, and E3 is probably the biggest event in Los Angeles. A traditional $80, $90 hotel room night at the Red Roof Inn is going to cost you $200, $300, $400, $500, $600. So this was the only time that we can do it, and I think there's a very high probability that given what the calendar looks like for 17, we're going to have to make some alterations on when our event date is moving forward.
Okay, so we covered the event. Look, at the end of the day, it was a great event.
Thank you.
It was very packed. It was crowded.
Yeah.
You had, 170 companies?
More, 175. I think we did close to 1,700 meetings, which again is a very high, excellent number. We lost a lot of companies. I mean, it was one of those things where you can have bad luck and survive. You can have bad timing and survive, but you can't have bad luck and bad timing and still survive. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of one of these things where a lot of people got sick, a lot of significant others were injured, a lot of people had graduation. So with all these things cumulative, it's still amazing that there was still a very large turnout, and I'm extremely appreciative. And it speaks volumes to what has been built here. People genuinely come here to see all sides of the industry and also to have a great time.
So let's talk about the industry a little bit. We did a quick interview, I think, in May. So, I've been following the index.
Yeah.
It was up over 2,000 yesterday. So let's cover it based on that.
Yeah, we hit an all-time high today, which is always nice to do it at your event. It's down about 1% right now, but that's okay. The overall take is that the index it's still a very small part of what we're doing internally, but it will become a much larger and larger and larger, power for us, where it's the data that dictates everything. It's the data that dictates who comes to the conferences. It's the information that dictates who we really want to get to present. So it's still small. MicroCap has done well this year. I think we're up close to 10%. But again, if you look at it from a 1-year, 2-year, 4-year, 5-year perspective, it's still a really challenging environment to make any money.
Yeah. So on that note, why is this so challenging? I mean, it's not for a lack of quality.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Liquidity dictates all terms. So I think it's...
But does it, though? I mean, because there's some people out there that say, whatever, illiquidity, that's not a problem for me as an individual investor. So why is it then a problem for others?
I think it's a multitude of things again. And it's difficult to describe in 30 to 40 seconds. But all in all, we need more good companies to go public. We need investors to make money again. And it's true, there's a lot of guys that will make money whether a company goes up or down. And I respect that. But there has to be, I wish we had 175 JVAs. Here's a profitable company. They have a very easy to understand product in coffee. They're making money. They're signing deals with large organizations. It's the stock ripped. I think it was up almost 100% in the last week. And For full disclosure, I don't own any shares. I wish I did, but it's one of these things where it's been a long time since I've seen the stock go up, and it feels great because I know people are making money.
That's one of those things whenever I look at your index, when I like that one day I'll see, I forgot what stock it was, that was up 700%.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, damn
the
it.
shitty.
That's
yeah.
why, I love watching it, but damn it, I see that.
Well, no, the shittiest part is I seem like I get more in the second column, which is the biggest losers, as opposed to the biggest winners. And it's pretty cool though. But when I see a company that we know or we own, I always like to congratulate them. And it's funny because they don't even know where they are in the grand standing of MicroCap, which is again why we're putting so much time and emphasis in this project.
Right. So moving ahead, where do you see MicroCaps going? It's we still have another half year left. What's happening?
I hope it goes up. I mean, it's just it's been a.
What sectors maybe that do you see as kind of interesting right now?
I think consumer cyclical has been beaten down really badly. I think there's a few good names in basic materials. I think agriculture is still an area which is going to do well regardless of macroeconomic activity, and obviously some tech, some biotech, some of those really excellent storylines that I think are going to get traction over the next 2-3 years. But ultimately, I do still see a lot of consolidation. I see a lot of companies going private, and I don't blame them. But my genuine belief is I think we're going to have a good year for the rest of the year.
So where can our audience go and find more information about the index and maybe upcoming events?
LDmicro.com. What's changed a little bit, you guys, is now you have to click on events if you want to learn more about the events. December 6th, 7th, and 8th in Los Angeles, right here. It's going to be crazy. I think based off backlog already, the names that are coming have never been more influential. The people that have already confirmed have never been more powerful. I think it's going to be a solid event, and I look forward to having you guys again.
All right. My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN Live, and we're here at the 2016 LD Micro Invitational. Again, with me is the host of LD Micro and the owner and founder of LD Micro, Mr. Chris Lahiji. Chris, thank you again,
Thank you,
as
guys.
always.
Be well. Bye-bye.